good day. Thank you for coming in.
Hi. Thanks for coming in. We're happy to have you.
Well, welcome to the Autoscope podcast, Conversations with Nerces Mavelian.
Welcome, Tim.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm
this is
here.
kind of exciting.
This is exciting.
We're going to have a good time,
Yeah.
just conversational.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
But I'd like to open with, I think the people out there need to know a little bit about you. And I'm going to just kind of throw some things out here, and then I'll hopefully I'll have a question at the end of there to get you started.
Okay.
But we come into this that originally when we met, I was a customer.
That's
and
right.
This was in 1994, and it was at this Plano shop
Right.
that I came in, and then it was, simply over the years as I brought in more cars
Right.
and spent more money, we became closer friends over the years.
Yeah.
But I was always impressed, and the reason why I've come to the shop ever since then is because the relationship that you have with the customers and how you treat everyone equally and respectfully. And that's how I kept coming here.
Right.
But also, as our friendship grew and we did some trips and some things together,
Sure.
I was always impressed that I see you as a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of interest and passions that is pretty cool. It tells a lot about your personality and you, and it also now come back to that, how that translates to the shop.
Right.
And the Renaissance man, meaning that your interest, that you're a photographer, a traveler. You have a passion for that. You have a passion for your relationship, with Kathy. You have a passion for cars, and as a matter of fact, you're a three-time BMW SCCA champion.
No, it's BMW Club Racing.
Club racing champion. Okay, a few years back. So you got that experience, but all of that has come around to with your shops here. That originally '94. Or actually, you started working on this in '92 with your dad.
Right.
But that passion for the cars, the passion for life, for the your travels and all that have come together that works so well within your shops because you enjoy people.
Right.
And that translates when a customer comes in, and the time that I've spent here listening to you on the phone.
Yeah.
How you genuinely care for whoever's calling in, whoever you're talking to, and as they come into the shop, how you welcome them, and it's real comforting. But what's neat is how that is translating, that I hear, you got a good staff here, and they're listening also to how you treat customers.
Sure.
And they're applying that as well to them. And that's why I think it works so well here, and why you've been so successful over the years is because it's working with customers. And so that brings me to the question I was saying. We come around to there. The questions is, why is customer service so important? For the client, and then how you manage that, and what are some of these things that you do? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, thank you for those kind words. And I really value your friendship as well as from the very beginning, even going back to the 80s when we opened up the White Rock store, the original one. I've made my best friends, including you. I've made my best friends through the shop. I mean, they were customers of mine, and they became, that connection is always there. To me, I think people want, just like me, I want quality service. I'm willing to go places where they treat me really well, that they make me feel like I'm important. It becomes that connection, and I love that feeling. And that's why when I built these places, and I do hire people, it's usually, I want that connection to to spread out to many, just everybody. It needs to be with everyone that comes in to be treated like not just a number, but somebody that is important. This was always a family business that cared about people. And I think it showed, just like you mentioned about how you saw me treat people. I saw my father treat people that way. And he was friends with his customers. One of his lifetime lifetime friends was a customer of his. It was a doctor that came in to get his car fixed, and they hit it off, and they were lifetime friends. And he had many more of those. And to me, when I moved here, I didn't have friends in Texas, and this is back in the 80s. But I thank God I've got lots of friends here because of my business. I met people through customers that became really close friends. And it's, a lot of people say I want to treat people like family. I think it's more important if we treat everybody like real close friends. Sometimes family is great, but I think, to me, one of the things that was instilled in me from friendship is the most important thing in the world. So that is the way I approach everybody. If you're my friend for a lifetime. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to portray. If customers come in, they're coming in to take care of a problem that they have. And I'll be glad to help them get there. And that's how we've become what we are right now. Mm-hmm. And as far as building these places, I was a technician, obviously, at one time as well. And I built these places so that if I was a technician, would I work in a place like this? And that's how these beautiful places I want nice, clean facilities. I want great people, incredible tools and diagnostic equipment so I can do the job properly. I'm trying to do a job for a customer, and that's what we try to do. It's how well do we do the job? That's what really most important.
Well, what's interesting to me that, it's almost effortless. It's not like in your mind that when a customer comes in that, their experience here is priority to you, I know. Everyone, that you want to take care of everyone respectfully and to give them experience that not only that they come back again, but they keep coming in and they tell others about it. Sure. And you had mentioned with family, it's unlike a dealership where you're just another number perhaps coming in. I know they try hard, and there's some dealerships that do a pretty good job.
They do a great job, yeah.
But with you, that you are family oriented, that it's kind of like it's effortless for you that you're just genuinely treating them. Yeah. As a human being, as someone coming in, that you want to genuinely help them.
But we are, yeah.
And I think the customers, when I will watch and talk with them coming in, they sense that, they immediately catch on to that. Right. That their comfort level, I see when they come in. Right. That it's this like home away from home, some of them. That they, sure. They come in and they go straight to go grab a drink, and they sit and they talk with some of the techs and that type of thing.
I love that.
Comfort level.
That. Yeah, I love that. I want to make people as comfortable as possible, because again, this is when I have a car, and sometimes I buy new cars, obviously, and I take it to the dealer. There's that tension that what's going on. I want to erase that, and that's what I'm trying to do, is to make it as transparent. As a matter of fact, there is a reason why this wall is here. It's glass. It's transparency. I want to make sure that you know that we're not hiding anything. Everything it's basically trust, right? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to, is I want to make you feel like you can trust me, and it's transparency. So we show you everything from the videos that we make of the car when they come in, the pictures of the problems that we have, to the billing. It's all transparency. If you want somebody to sit here and watch what's going on, not a problem there as well. I just want to remove some of that
anxiousness?
Anxiousness of taking care of your car. And
Or that worry, wondering if they
Yeah,
are doing the right thing.
worry-free.
And I guess it goes back to you saying trust, that they trust you, that not only in the proper care of their car, but taking care of them.
Oh yes. Remember, we take care of the customers and their families no matter what they drive. Because you sell cars, you buy other cars, it's not just one. So one of these days we'll be working on, I don't know, hydrogen or cars that levitate or fly. But we're still going to work on those things, but that person that comes in with different vehicles over the years, and that's the connection what we're trying to make, is I'll work on whatever you have at the time, but I'm making a client that you can come in and trust us with whatever you're driving. So that's really the key. So it's very simple. It doesn't need to be very difficult, but it does take a lot of effort to make that happen. And as you mentioned earlier, there are plenty of dealers that do a wonderful job, but I'm trying to be a bit more personal and smaller. Sometimes smaller. I say most of the time smaller is better. Bigger is not always better. When you start growing and you've got to take care of hundreds of people a day, your time, slice of the pie is actually get thinner. So I can't spend the time with you if I had to deal with 200 people. That's why I like that coziness. It's a boutique kind of a feeling to where you can come in and spend time with us. And that's very important.
Answers the question I was going to pose to you, that you've been in business 40 years, 3 locations. Why didn't you had opportunities to expand into many locations, but it seems like you just answered that is because it can be where customer service, it hurts. Because there's so many people that, and here you keep it more like a family-owned business. That you can still provide that service and trust with each client that comes in.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If I just get too big too fast, then things will just get out of hand. This suffers a bit. Like it's inevitable. The bigger you get, the less control you're going to have over the things that matter to people. I give everybody's empowered on taking care of the clients the best that they can, and that's what we're working on, and it's always a work in progress. But yes, we will grow. It's not like we're not going to grow. We will grow. It's just that take a little bit at a time. We don't need to overextend ourselves. But it's been 40, going on to 40 years. So 41 years actually this year. So it's been good. A family-owned business still, without our associates, I would have nothing. It's all about the people that work here. So that's what makes it work.
Well, and that's a good way to segue into our next podcast, where we talk about your staff and the amount of time that you put into them and training, and also working with customers. So thank you for this first podcast.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Thank you.
And we got, I see some of your customers have walked in, and we got to go take care of them, and then we'll be back for podcast 2.
And please hit the button down there and share.
What Nerces is trying to say is that there's a button down there in the video. If you can click on that and share,
would be awesome. We'd love it.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Hey y'all, Stephen Bethard here. I've been a Autoscope customer for 3 years. Excellent service, cars always taken care of. They're quick, friendly, can always fit you in if you get into a pinch. Highly recommend, they're fantastic.